Good morning. Welcome to Lord of Life. Today is May 10th, 2021, and I'm Rob Henderson, and I want to thank you for joining us for this daily devotion. It's a beautiful day, a day that has weather that we would much more associate with Mother's Day than the weather we had yesterday. So a belated happy Mother's Day to all those who share motherly love. As I consider the life and ministry of Jesus, I'm always struck by how lovingly and gently he took on the religious establishment, the religious elite of his time, and turned our view of religion 180 degrees in the other direction. And he did this not by an edict or by an insurrection, but by recruiting an unlikely band of disciples and then going wherever God's Spirit led. We see him sharing life and love and healing and mercy wherever he went. I want to consider the concept of Christ-like sharing for a few moments this morning. Sharing is not easy. It's not easy for toddlers, it's not easy for adults, and it's certainly not easy for businesses. A long time ago, Time magazine ran an article exploring the then popular video cassette industry. JVC and Sony were the two major players at the time. For you youngsters who may be watching this, video cassettes were long before streaming, and for you millennials, it was long before DVDs as well. The report concluded that Sony had made a grave error when it introduced its technology. While JVC, the company that originally produced VHS tapes, shared its technology prolifically with other companies, Sony kept its technology a huge secret. By the late 1980s, Sony controlled over only 10% of the market and ultimately abandoned its own technology, shifting to the VHS-dominated marketplace. JVC had tapped the secret power of sharing in its marketing strategy. When JVC began to disseminate information about their VHS, I don't believe that they were just an altruistic company that shared their hard-earned technology for the joy of it. Sharing for them was a marketing strategy. And they knew that if it was going to catch on and be used in every home, then other companies would need the technology to create content. Sharing proved to be very effective in their marketing strategy. Jesus modeled sharing in its most radical form as a way of life. He said in John 15, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. Love each other as I have loved you." You see what he's up to here? You see how Jesus shares God's love with us and then encourages us to share that love with one another? He calls us to follow him through the same kind of radical sharing of love. But ask any toddler. Sharing is not an easy thing to do. Ask any adult. Sharing is not an easy thing to do. Sharing means living life not only with my best interest in mind, but living in a way that puts the needs of others on equal footing with our own. So this week, let us all find just one way to share God's love with just one someone who looks like they could use a little extra love this week. I want to thank you for joining us for this daily devotion. We come to you each morning at 11:30. On Wednesdays at 11:30, we have a midweek worship service. And on Sundays at 9:30, we hold our contemporary service. And 10:45, we hold our traditional service. All services continue to be live streamed, but you are welcome to join us in person for any worship service. Have a great week.